Recording coming to you almost after market close. I mean, just right after the market close. Yeah, so after Monday, definitely some good and some bad today. I think what keeps getting reinforced to me is that the power of one good trade, like within a system with positive expectancy, is so incredible. And if you have that slight edge, then you are the casino, and it's really just about keeping yourself out of these marginal opportunities and just pulling, as you so aptly put to me one time. If I had a slot machine that was guaranteed to pay out like one out of every three times I pulled the handle, like I would never stop pulling the handle. So it was just like the same principle of just like getting myself only into the best possible trades. I think that's the number one thing. So traded MBRX today. What's MBRX? It's a penny stock biotech. Recent transactions been coming off a base for maybe like 6 months. Some volume in the background, so a couple good pieces. What's wrong with this though? At the point where I decided to trade it, we're coming to this kind of like UFO area. It's like 24 and a quarter. And look at it, like it had already kind of like gapped up, gone up. So strike one, opening spike, gap up, go up. Just classic Sean avoid stuff is like, and this is me like not checking my void list. So 2 days in a row I've traded gap up, go up. I mean, this is a slight gap up. It's not a monster, but it's 9%. But then not just being biased, like not looking at the weakness on the selling coming in here, the selling coming in here, the lack of volume on the way up. Just like not paying attention to all the clues in the background. It's telling me not to go long right here. Because why? Like I see wide range day. I'm thinking, I'm gonna catch like another 50-cent move in this little penny stock coming off a base. So once again, like instead of looking for all the things that are wrong with this chick, I'm looking at nice ass, right? Like whatever. Yeah, I mean the basing action had me like in my eyes, like I was like, okay, this is like I can't miss. Whereas there's plenty of clues if I'm just willing to look at what's wrong first, then I avoid having like a losing trade today, and then my day is much better. On that same vein, I traded Netflix today. And Netflix, is a consumer cyclical, big picture uptrend. But recently had a change of character move. Now all tech stocks kind of like had a change of character move. But this is a big wide range day, like the widest range day on the chart. So as you said the other day in your video, not all pieces of evidence are equal. And so then we have this nice long pullback to the midline, and once we test up the midline and come back down, I thought, okay, well, there might be an opportunity for a short below yesterday's low. And so I've been watching this for several days. I mean, ever pretty much it's like right here, just kind of like waiting for the pullback to happen. So maybe you could have been looking this day, but didn't do anything. So this is probably like the next day that you have an opportunity that like the trigger happens. So setup is change of character and first pullback. So I guess this would technically be the anti-setup, right? And then pullback to midline we talked about. So that's my setup. Trigger is trading below yesterday's low. Intraday we're below the opening range. We opened down, we tested up first, so that's good. So I'm outside the 10 a.m. opening range. I shorted on this pop, I say I shorted on the pop, but it was a little spready at the time. I probably could have got a little bit better fill somewhere in here, maybe like 30 cents better, but still I was able to put my stop like $1 away and give myself a pretty reasonable place to just say like where I'll be wrong. So I think realistically this is where I want my stop. so a little bit better fill gets me a little bit wider stop. But I put it above VWAP and it still kept me in the trade. So consolidation below the level, solid. So if I were to add in the future, if I had more buying power, I would definitely add into this trade as we started consolidating lower. Here's your flag. You could add it on that pop there, add it on pop, add it on a pop, add it on a pop, add it on a pop, add it on the pop all the way to the end of the day. And I covered somewhere like in here. I knew I wanted to be out before 3 p.m. and so I didn't know where this was going to stop, but I wanted to cover into some weakness, so I didn't want to cover on this pop back. So and it ended up, as far as my time frame goes, like it ended up being about the right price. I think I got around 82. So I mean, I gave back just like a little bit. You're not going to catch the top or bottom, but I think we talk about catching the meat of the move. So one good trade. Like I followed all my rules on this, had a daily setup, had a trigger outside the opening range, added on a pot, or entered on an actual entry on a little like flag right here. Held for the meat of the move. I mean, this is proof that I can trade. I can do this shit if I eliminate those little marginal trades like this, like no reason for trades like that, no reason for like Nvidia yesterday, no reason for what was the other shit, like just all the other BS from yesterday. Like eliminate all that and look, I'm having like a really nice start to the week, or like yeah, so you make what, it's not about the amount, but $300 a day, like it's like $1,500 a week. I mean, that'd be pretty happy with that for the size of my account right now. I mean, that would be almost doubling my account in a couple weeks. So some other setups I saw today. AOI is very similar to Netflix, so in a strong uptrend, tech sector, but change your character move, pull back to the midline. Volume, yesterday I was saying pay attention a little bit too, so just looking for Covell trades. So setup is anti, trigger being below 60.77, and then this being the opening range low. So let's change it to orange. And so, we're making lower highs to the level. Maybe you could have thrown on the trade right there, or shorter right here. There were no shorts in AOI for me. So anyway, that's what it is. And Labu would be a counter trend setup. So obviously the big pictures were coming off this kind of high level consolidation with the blast. But we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 closes. Three free bars from Keltner. So looking for that mean reversion trade. Obviously we get the gap up and we close down the prior day, so maybe continued weakness from that day, so the trigger would be below 68.64. So that's the prior day's low. So basically we see that the prior day's low is respected, so touches it once, touches it twice. Maybe you could throw on the short somewhere in here, risk up to VWAP, or here's a nice little pop after you break the level, flag, pop, just basically anywhere in there you could have gotten in the trade. But yeah, just anyway, just not to belabor the point too much, but just the fact of the matter is, by eliminating so many of these marginal trades, the path to profitability becomes that much easier, because I'm not hamstringing myself. Like, okay, like I had like close to like $300 winning trade today, whatever. Once again, not about the money. The fact of the matter is, it's just like took a small loss on a bullshit trade yesterday. Hit max, my max loss. So now it's basically like, okay, that winning trade is erased by all the negative shit. I mean, you can flip it the other way and say, hey, all of these negative trades got erased by one trade. But it's like, okay, those could just be profits if I don't take those marginal trades. I think that's kind of the biggest step now, is just, and I keep saying it every day, but it's just like focusing on taking the best trades, having real setups, having real setup trigger entry, and then, you know, just following the rules beyond that. So if I can do that, I mean, I think profitability is pretty close, but it's just to be the CPT, you know, it takes the C part, and that's doing it every day. And so we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. Anyway, later.